Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's my day of the week clock is facing the wrong way. And yes, I am wondering what day of the week. Tuesday. They play it on a Saturday. I don't know what day it is.
Yeah.
They played on a Saturday.
The news cycle's got us all
The coach got
around.
fired. We didn't do the normal thing. I had to turn my day of the week clock around. I don't know what day it is. The kids don't have school.
Yep.
I'm out of the, didn't have school yesterday. They don't have school today. Buffalo Public Schools are closed. It is frigid outside.
I was going to say, is that because of the cold or is it supposed to snow again?
I think both.
Both?
Yeah, I think both. It's supposed to snow.
It is really cold. My car said like 4 degrees.
Real feel of -9
Yeah.
right now. So
I believe it.
Yeah, it's cold. Jeremy and Joe, Jeremy White, Sneaky Joe DiBiase. He's here for 2 hours and then off, getting out of here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Not like forever.
No. Not, he's protesting. He's leaving. I'm going,
Yes.
oh, Captain, my Captain. I'm going down.
I refuse. I will not do the show. Not anymore.
Yeah.
A wrong has been
And it's tradition. Ryan Gates, right? When they picked Josh Allen, he walked out. Never
He
more.
did.
I mean,
yeah. So well done. He made the national news.
I know. It was very good.
How many people have quit and made the national news in their jobs? Not many.
Doug Marrone.
Doug Marrone.
There's another one.
Yeah.
So the Bills will begin a coach search, and we will hear from the GM at some point. I'm not sure when that press conference will be. He'll, of course, have to address everything, including the decision / I want to say decision, but there's probably another word. How he was able to orchestrate a decision to do it. Mm-hmm. They didn't report vertically.
Right.
So if you listened to us all year long, you heard a lot of us saying, I think there's a power struggle in there. And I said a lot of times, imagine that there's a secret election and someone's trying to win it. And it happened.
Yeah.
I didn't kind of anticipate it would come to a head and one person would win it this quickly. I thought they would just kind of have their differences and work through it. And I guess the relationship got soured so much that McDermott was making comments about the roster, which many people, I think, agreed with.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, Brandon Beane kind of finds a way to convince the owner that he's the one that should stay. And I don't know that there's really any other way to view it. Tim Graham wrote in The Athletic about that the GM has the owner's ear, and that's what happened. One guy found his way closer to the owner to say, it's him, he's the problem. I'm the one that's doing the good job, and Beane gets to stay.
I just wonder what that sales pitch sounded like. Like, what basis would there be for, at least this season? You want to maybe look at it on a broader scope and say, you know what? It's been 9 years, 7 of them with this quarterback really being like a good playoff caliber quarterback at least, 6 of them with him being a superhero. 6 years with him being a superhero, and we have not even made it to the Super Bowl yet. We should try something different. Like from a more broad scope, I guess, but you're a part of that too, right? Like it'd be tough to separate yourself unless you were like, maybe you're standing on 13 seconds.
Could be.
As a reason why. That would be, I think, the way you'd have to approach it. Because if you were just going to look at whose fault it was that this season didn't result in a Super Bowl appearance, then I don't know how you target Sean McDermott and get away with that. I think this might have been his best coach season as Bills head coach. Unless you want to debate that between when they broke the drought, because that team didn't have much talent either. However, that team, turnover differential, right? And, they got some luck along the way. That team wasn't as good as this one. This one, I don't know, no one would look at that defense and say anybody should do more with what they had. And on offense, the areas in which they were talented, offensive line, super talented. One of the best lines in football. Running back. One of the most talented running backs in the league. They were the number 1 rush attack in the league. Okay, so the one area they did have talent, they were number 1. And then all the other areas where they really were lacking, I feel like they kind of met expectations or exceeded expectations in all other areas, given what the talent was. I think the sales pitch, if you were Brandon Beane, would have to come from all 9 years and not just this past season.
Yeah. That's probably right. I have got other ideas. We can get this other person back. whoever it is, if it's going to be Brian Dable that comes back, if they're going to bring back Davis Webb, Clint Kubiak, will they definitely go to an offensive mind? We all would like to think that.
I want to think that, and I'm a little nervous as to whether they actually will.
Yep.
Or not.
So, man, there's still a lot to get to. I mean, it happened in our show yesterday at, 9:20, 9:25?
It was during the first segment, yeah.
Yeah, of the 9 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
So, if you want to react to McDermott being fired, join us. I don't know if the Bills expected the reaction to be what it is. Maybe, maybe not. They released a statement with a pretty hilarious typo that everyone had some fun with, and it ultimately looks like they pushed him out the door and didn't say a word about it. And I think that whether there's a better way to do it or not, a lot of Bills fans feel like the Bills look scummy in the way that they handled McDermott.
Oh, I definitely think that.
In the way that they fired him, in the way that he releases a statement and it's Tom Pelissero that pushes it out.
Right.
And that there's no mention really of it at the website outside of Bills announced Sean McDermott's been relieved of his duties and he's thanked for doing an admirable job. Like, he did quite a bit for your organization. He was the head man that stopped your organization from being a joke while you also drafted a superstar quarterback. Like, life as a Bills fan is very different from when it began, the Sean McDermott era, when it began. He broke the drought before Josh Allen. He broke the drought in part, a little bit of luck. Sure, a 9-7 season, whatever. But I think McDermott is respected by a lot of Bills fans, and the organization kind of looks like they did not treat him with perhaps the appropriate level of respect. If you want to say that would be difficult to do while firing him after a double-digit win season, I might grant that to you. Yeah. I don't know how you fire him with respect or with any sort of proper statement, but I would say that the way that they didn't isn't how you do that.
I mean, it's probably a poor comparison because these guys have Super Bowls, but what about the way Harbaugh was let go? Like, the owner said some things once he talked.
Sure.
But the way that their social media team played it and the way that they just really approached it in the media in general was very different.
Yeah.
I mean, even in New England, and I know Belichick had 6 Super Bowls and McDermott didn't even make one, so I know it's a critical difference. But there was total bad blood there between Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick, and you know what? Those two still put their big boy pants on and went to a podium and had a press conference about it.
If I'm not mistaken, when the Sabres fired Lindy, they had a presser from the arena. And the reason that I remember that...
Lindy had a press conference after he
That's
was
what I'm
fired.
saying.
Oh, yeah.
Lindy had a press conference at the arena.
In front of a black curtain. I remember it.
Yeah. And I remember because the Harbor Center was about to be built and there was a fence around the Harbor Center and someone had taken clear plastic Solo cups and spelled out, "Thank you, Lindy," in the chain link.
I remember that, yeah.
What a memory. We'll get some phone calls. We'll talk to you all day. We're going to talk to Paul Hamilton at 6:30 because the Sabres played yesterday amidst all this madness. We'll get a quick thought from Paul on the Sabres' loss to Carolina and a thought on, the Bills and what they've done here. Mike Catalana joins us at 9 o'clock from WHM in Rochester. I just had the thought to talk to Mike because we talk to him at training camp every year and maybe like once or twice along the way. And, this is a big moment in Bills franchise history, a step forward, of course. So we have so much to get to. Lindy Ruff himself will join us at 8 o'clock. And then there's the Bills, of course. Like, you couldn't give me 30 radios to tune in. I'm going to have 10 phones to log into the Odyssey app to listen to this press conference because Brandon Beane is about to do something that he's never done before. And what that is meet with a media that has questions that are along the lines of, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How did you decide to do this? This is a new era. And Beane, in the eyes of many fans, like, listen, you still think he's a good GM? That's fine. I think you can make a case he's done a nice job. He drafted your franchise quarterback. And he's put together the rushing attack you've talked about, right? Like, But people are going to need time for him to rebuild their faith in him. His image among the fans has taken a monster hit over the last 10 months, 11 months. And now he's going to go up there, and I don't know what his message will be. If it's that they need to get over the hump, then I will like to hear that. I will understand that. I'm not super furious that they fired Sean McDermott. I do think that perhaps the two people responsible for the Bills' shortcomings, the number one person that's responsible for it still works there. But, all right, he can get it right. He's got some things right in the past. He's got some things wrong in the past. I do also think, though, Joe, it is a tough case to make. If you're someone that's like, well, he just did what Sean wanted. Okay. They're going to have to pick a lane. They really are going to have to pick a lane. Mm-hmm. That the bad picks are because Sean wanted these players, or Sean didn't coach good players. It's one of the two. Ian Rappaport on NFL Network yesterday, out here towing the line for Beane, said, among other things, they lost to Denver despite all those weapons, laughable, all that talent on defense. And he said McDermott was fired with a line that I muttered to myself 30 times before I went to bed. Rappaport drops the line, considering many teams think they're stocked with talent. And I thought, imagine putting those words together. Considering many teams believe they're stocked with talent. Did he just call 10 teams and say, like, what do you think about the Bills? He called 20 teams? Mm-hmm. Or did he just say, considering many teams think they're stocked with talent?
Right.
If there's one thing about the Bills, we think they don't have enough elite talent, and it's not like they're doing it on a budget. They are over the cap and moving tons of money into the future on the level that, like, the Eagles do, which is good that they're willing to do that. But they do it without actually getting true needle-moving players.
Right. No, the last group of needle-moving players, really large group that they brought in, were the ones that Sean McDermott and Doug Whaley brought in the 2017 offseason. Like, I had the tweet yesterday that McDermott in one offseason in 2017 brought in more first-team All-Pros than Beane has in 7 years since then. Like, they just don't have those guys on the roster. The guys they have on the roster that have those accolades are now at the end of their careers, right? It's Milano, it's Tre'Davious White, it's Jordan Poyer, it's guys that are not the same, or it was Diggs, who's not here anymore. And he wouldn't be to that level either, even at this point, although he is still pretty good.
Yes, he is still pretty good.
That catch on Sunday was pretty good. They don't have those guys at all, and I don't know what's the case there. That, well, Sean McDermott's the reason Greg Rousseau isn't an All-Pro. Right. Like, is that the answer? Is he's the reason that Kyrie Elam wasn't a better player, that Keon Coleman wasn't a better player, or that, pick a guy on defense. Why isn't Cole Bishop actually was getting more results this year and maybe is tracking towards being an all-pro player at some point in his career. Terrell Bernard. The reason Bernard wasn't better this year, that's McDermott. What does that sound like?
Right. It sounds like everything that went wrong was not my fault.
Right.
If a player was bad, it's A, because Sean wanted me to draft him, or B, I drafted him and Sean didn't coach him well enough.
And if you aren't out there saying that, then you're acknowledging they don't have a lot of talent. That's simply put, right? Like, these are okay players, good players, that are not top of the position in their sport. The Broncos, who they played, what was the Pro Bowl comparison? It was like 2 versus 7.
Yeah.
Bills to Broncos. And the Broncos aren't the most star-studded team that I've ever seen. Last year they played the Ravens. The Ravens had like 9 guys, and the Bills had 2. It's just Allen and Dawkins. Dawkins, again, a guy that predates Beane. It's just, I don't know how anybody could argue that they're flush with talent. I don't think that they're terrible.
No.
I think they're more talented than a lot of teams, but give me a break if you think they're anything near the top of the league in terms of talent level.
803-0550. It's a line for me to walk because I will eventually get to excited for the future with the right hire and maybe a shift in philosophy. But
are the names you've seen are half or more that we would be excited about?
The idea of Clint Kubiak to me sounds like a good idea. I don't know what the other names will be. Like Davis Webb.
Right. I
have concerns. Peter Schrager flat out called Davis Webb Josh Allen's best friend. Mm-hmm. Can your best friend be your head coach? That's tough. Brian Daboll coming back. I don't know. I liked Brian Daboll's time as this offense, as how he ran this offense.
Yep.
But I kind of don't know. But I'm eager to hear what Beane has to say. Beane doesn't like to take any L's. He doesn't take an L. Will he take an L on his roster this year? Because he should take an L on the roster.
But I can't imagine.
We all know it was his loss. You blew it. You blew it. All the practice squad elevations, all the, oh my God, Shaq Thompson, Jordan Poyer, and Brandon Cooks have to save our season. That was not because the players ahead of them were not coached well enough. You needed street free agents to save your season. Jordan Phillips, Phi Mathis, I mean, some of these were injury-based.
Not all of them. Not all of them in the slightest. I mean, receiver is more so in part to me because Keon Coleman couldn't be a professional football player for a year.
And are we really going to sit here and say like, oh, Beane just picked who he was told?
Yeah,
just,
I don't buy that.
You just like try to figure out how you would get to a person wins a power struggle, and the case is, well, I just did what I was told. Like those two things don't really match. Right. Now, again, it can be successful going forward. I will pick them to be a playoff team next year, probably. The offseason is going to be huge. But the offseason starts with hiring the right coach, and who knows where they're going to go.
The players feel pretty down about it seemed too. Like everyone that posted was.
I appreciate that, and I feel a little down about it myself. But Tomlin got fired, and all their players are like, I can't believe that guy got fired. Like bad coaches and unsuccessful coaches get players to take up for them. It's not surprising to me. The guy's McDermott's been here for a decade and touched a lot of lives and a lot of players. So I don't think that necessarily rates as it shouldn't have happened. Then again, the conversation about that is the quarterback. How's the quarterback feel about it? Because I think you might have 90% of the people that are on board because they believe that the quarterback has to be.
Right.
And he might not be. We'll see. Allen, I think, will. I don't know that Allen's very good at poker face or Allen's very good at going up there and saying a thing that he doesn't believe. And I don't know what he'll say. Mm-hmm. He'll be asked about it, though, eventually. Ben in Amherst is up. Ben, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thank you for taking the call. If you'll allow me a minute here just to kind of riff. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I go back, I'm 35, and I go back to, the Kelly Holcomb, Wade Phillips, Rob Johnson, Doug Flutie days, and Antoine Smith, and I think about the progression of this team and where it was, Mike Mularkey and Chan Gailey and Buddy Nix. I mean, this organization has been a joke. Now, in fairness, the owner hasn't been here the whole time, and Ralph was here for a bit of that time. And Rex Ryan, I mean, it's just a complete farce of an organization, just as big of a joke as, like, the Jets and the Browns. And the way this was handled yesterday, I've always been kind of on the fence about McDermott. In terms of the results, it's been, to an extent, I agree with you guys. Really, if you base it on the 9 years, it makes sense. Doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity. However, this year, he was fantastic. I mean, to your point, Phi Mathis, Andre Jones Jr., Dane Jackson. I mean, this is a terrible – I mean, you guys are being nice. This is a terrible roster. This is a roster that – if Bo Nix was the quarterback, they'd win 6 games. And they're just not any good. And the fact that Brandon Fantasy Football Beane, gets to come off and be pompous and arrogant and, frankly, a jerk and say that, you don't need receivers. We don't need receivers. We scored 35 points a game, and we scored more than the Eagles. To you guys specifically is just absolutely asinine. And I got to tell you, like, even the owner, if you go to the owner's track record with the hockey team, now granted, finally they're having a decent year, but he screwed that up. He's screwing this up. The fact that yesterday wouldn't get behind a microphone and talk.
That, I believe, might come. And we'll see if Terry Pegula does that or if it's just, it might just be Beane. Now, as president of football, like that right. becomes his role, yeah.
For sure, and I get it. It's just that, and I understand, but, like, it's just that I feel like this is just the way it was handled yesterday, specifically, regardless how you feel about McDermott, the statement, the joke that they can't even spell the word right. I mean, this is a New York Jets level botching of the situation, regardless how you feel about him.
Sure.
I personally think he deserved another chance given how bad this team was and given that he is the second best coach in the history of this organization. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And given how much where we were before, the joke of the team that we were before with Jeff Toole and Thaddeus Lewis, and I can go down the list forever, guys. And where we are now. Now, granted, I know Josh has got pretty much all to do with that and how much we give Beane and how much we give Josh. Totally fair, but I just really am disappointed, and I believe I speak on behalf of most of the fan base that this is a joke. And the fact that Beane keeps the job after how bad he's been, how arrogant he's been, is just really rubs me the wrong way. And I appreciate you letting me riff a little bit. You guys are fantastic, and thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Yeah, listen, we don't have to I would say this about a player. You don't have to like the player. Are they on the team? Are they making a difference? And Beane can turn this, maybe I'll say this 100 times today and it won't be even worth saying because it goes without saying. If they win, we'll be happy. And if he hires a coach, will we get too excited by the time the draft is over? Probably. But what if he decides to take a swing on
Max Crosby?
Okay.
Or do you want someone else?
I just what I'd like to do is maybe get off the train where we're just thinking the entire existence of the franchise is to give assets for pass rush.
Right.
Maybe, but sure, Max Crosby. All right, Max Crosby. I mean, this team right now.
Well, what position do you want? What position do you want for it? You want it to be a receiver? Because Justin Jefferson's too easy.
No, what I want.
If they do that, then of course, yeah. Everyone's going to be thinking they're going to win the Super Bowl.
They're 20.
No matter who their coach
they're
is.
26. Can they move up to 11th and take Jordan Tyson? Will he last that long? I don't know. We're too early in the process.
I think I'm going to get excited about the coach. I mean, there's a couple of defensive names out there that I do not think I would get excited about. Does
Brian Dable get you excited?
Yes.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm in a position where I think if someone was going to go, I still kind of can't believe it's not the GM and it's the coach. To me, on merit, it would have made way more sense that the GM would have gone and not the head coach. But I will say, I think I like this more than nothing. More than just keep rolling. If there is tension and it's not the best working relationship maybe that it used to be, that let's just work through it and keep going and doing the same thing again. I'm not saying I would have hated that either, but I can get juiced up for change when, again, I'm in a standpoint of I don't really see there being a ton of downside when Josh Allen is your quarterback. Your downside is you're going to be a wild card team and you're going to have to play on the road. Probably.
I guess the only I kind of agree with most of that. The problem is the one guy who's made a living on but I've got Josh Allen is just going to keep living on that.
Right.
Why is the job good? Well, I've got Josh Allen.
Right.
Why is the roster good? Well, I've got Josh Allen. You drafted Josh Allen. Congratulations.
7 years
what
ago.
else have you done? Mm-hmm. Not a lot. The head coach was someone that actually might have wanted there to be a little bit of help, a little more. He wanted to do your 111th, whatever. That's probably all PR from McDermott. Whatever. We got a lot to get to, a lot to dig through. And the press conference, whenever we get the first one, these questions Beane's going to have to answer. What does he say about receiver? That is something he made personal for himself, and he ended up with egg on his face again and again and again. What's he going to say about it? Is he going to say Ben called in? Guys, we scored 30 points in Denver. Good luck.
Man.
Good luck if that's what you say. The league's reaction to what happened yesterday was, why is the GM staying? Mostly it was, all right, you want to change coach. I get it. You can't stand pat. Why would the GM stay?
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be the reaction. And one other element of this is you might get a new GM because if he's going to be president of football operations, he might just elevate Terrence Gray or Brian Gaine, his assistants.
After the draft.
And then you have a new GM.
Mm-hmm.
And he's insulated football royalty.
I was going to say, he's still the top of the food chain.
Sure, but then he fires that GM and picks the next GM, and he's just he's just the guy that runs the team. So it could all work. Listen, there have been times we've been a big fan of his, and he's come across the right way. It's been a rough year, and maybe making this decision was difficult because he knew that it would go over poorly, or maybe they're blindsided by the fact that Bills fans kind of feel like it wasn't really cool. Not cool, man. Not cool. That said, win. 803-0550. Lots of you joining us in the chat on YouTube. Drop a comment in there if you'd like to. If you're on hold, we'll get to your calls. Paul Hamilton coming up. Lindy Ruff as well. The Sabres lost yesterday. Mike Catalana. All reaction here. The Bills are in the coach searching bucket. Diana Rossini tweeted last night, we should start to get names today on who they've contacted. I have reason to believe like Clint Kubiak, Brian Dable will be maybe the first two names we hear. So stay tuned for that. 803-0550 on WGR.
Admiral.